Hello all. Okay, in this video I'll just be taking random footage throughout my day out today. And at a place called Calvin, just off the A9, not overly far from Pitlochry in the House of Brewer. Today's excursion for me is to go to Kinloch Rannoch Station, catch the train from there to Mallaig and back again. It's just the regular Scottish rail, and I'll take footage throughout my day. And at a place called Calvin, a disused garage, and it's been like that for years, decades in fact. So I have a relative that stays not overly far from here, and they used to come up here a lot on weekends and that, years and years ago, and for years. And they used to stop off here at this garage. It's always been closed though, but it was usually just a stop off break. So I'm going to take some footage for my nostalgic sake as well, because I can look back on this video. So that's the plan for today. I'll show you where I am in Scotland with the map. So I've got the road atlas. It's just whole of Britain, and kind of like there, in this general area here. So I'll try and, that's kind of like where I am. And to be more sort of precise, it's Calvin, it's where I'm literally at. And I'm going to be driving along here to Kinloch Rannoch, to Rannoch Station. So basically there's Loch Rannoch Station, rail station. I'll be taking the railway all the way to, it goes into Fort William, then from there it could stay on the train, it's the same train. It then makes its way up to the Scottish coastal town called Mallaig, which is there. And it goes over the Glen Finnian Viaduct, which is quite a popular tourist site, a tourist attraction. So I'll get footage of that throughout. And Mallaig is there in Britain. There's Mallaig. That's where I'm going to be going on the train from Rannoch Station to Mallaig. So I hope it gives you a fair idea. I had to just show you the old school way, using the old map, because I don't think I've got a signal for the internet here, so I just had to use the old road atlas. This is what I used to do before sat nav and internet. So this garage has been closed for a very long time. I can't even recall it ever being open. If I did, it would have been a very long time ago. But it's been like a bit of a sort of time capsule. I may have covered this before on my videos. I think I might have actually, when I was doing a cycle trip. But it's a bit of a nostalgia for me anyway, because I like old buildings and stuff. And there's also a Mandela effect in here as well. So when I refer to the Mandela effect, or I say this in a video, you do your own research, come to your own conclusions regarding it. Type it in, search, research, etc. Come to your own conclusions. But I remember there was a tank, diesel tank or a fuel tank on the outside here. It's no longer there. I know what I'm referring to, I'm just going to highlight it on the video so I could see it a bit clearer, because the last time I was here when I discovered this Mandela effect, it was darkish. So I'm kind of like going through the overgrowth. The tank used to be in there. I very much so remember the diesel tank being here right on the sulphur boundary of the station. But it's no longer there. It looks as though it's never been a tank there because of the position of the doors. There's a door there, and there's a door there. So it wouldn't make sense to have a tank there. But I clearly remember it being there. When it was closed down, I remember going in the back here and seeing the tank. It's a big steel or cast iron cylindrical fuel tank that sat there. So it's nowhere else. I haven't mistook it for being anywhere else. It was definitely there, and it doesn't make sort of like any sense for it to ever have been there. So it's sort of like a Mandela effect. So I'm just quickly logging this bit in anyway for this miscellaneous footage and taking out throughout the day. This is in the back of it. Like I say, it's changed recently. It's like it never happened, like it was never there, but this is just it there. But it was definitely in the back there, on that other side, I know that for a fact. And it looks as though it's never been there. So we'll just get some footage. This is where the tank was. These pumps have been put there for whatever reason, but you can see there's a door there and a door there, so it wouldn't make sense for a tank to be there, but it was definitely there. I remember it clearly being there. I was quite sort of fascinated with it. It was huge, it was big, it looked quite kind of, it was just a big cylindrical tank, and it was definitely in this area. But it looks as though it's never been there. There's no any evidence of a tank ever being there, because it wouldn't make sense for it to be there. There's nowhere else where it could be other than where I remember it being. And it's, as I say, it's like a time capsule. So this is just looking at the other side of it. So it's this is just looking round. That's where I was earlier, over there. And just looking over to this wooden shed bit. So my next port of call is leaving this bit now. I'm going to make my way to somewhere where I can get a bit of a view of the loch. I'll have a bite to eat, and then I'll continue on up to the Rannoch Station. So the drive's roughly about 85 miles from Dundee to Rannoch Station. So far I've probably done about 60. I haven't reset the tripometer, but I've probably done about 60 mile or something, 55 mile, something like that, 58 mile, it's round about there. But it's about 85 mile drive from Dundee to Rannoch. So it's just, I've done this run quite a lot, this drive many times before. But this time we're going to get some videos along route, just various footage. So this is just at Loch Rannoch, and just at the Kinloch Rannoch end of it. So I think that's a McDonald's hotel or something up there. I'm going to get a bite to eat here. So I've got my flask of coffee and something to eat while I sit here. I've got a wee while yet. Well, the train leaves at 9 minutes past 11. It's just like, just to go at 10:05, so it's about 25 minutes, half an hour drive from here to the Rannoch Station. It's a dead end, this road, it leads right up to it. Well, you can actually circle along the loch, but then the road branches on, it continues on to the dead end, and the far end is where the Rannoch Station is. So I've got my a snack with me, or breakfast, brunch, whatever you want to call it. Just having a wee look down here. This is at the, so just parked there, get a nice parking spot there, luckily to get it. So this is at the east end of the Kinloch Rannoch, Loch Rannoch. Right, so this is at Rannoch Station now. I'm just going to wait here for the train. So it's the end of the road basically. There's a information thing here as well, tells you a bit about the views and stuff that you can see. So there seems to be a locomotive here. It's not the one I'm getting, I wouldn't have thought, but something. So I'm just parked there, which is handy. And from here I just get the train to Mallaig. So I'm just having a wee sort of wander about for about 20 minutes. Well, not even that, about 15 minutes, maybe a little less, waiting on the train. So I'll just get myself over to the other platform because that's the sign it comes up on. I was looking at the big locomotive there, so I was quite impressed with that. So when I'm going to get to go to Mallaig. cloudy as I say, but that's as good as you can get. Just some more of Ben Nevis. Bridge. Sorry, Fort William. Just coming into Fort William now. Make myself a seat facing forward because this will be going in the opposite direction. So we're at Fort William. It's going to get quite busy now, so what I've done is I've actually changed my seat so I'm still going to be facing forward because the train will be going in the opposite direction now because the seats obviously don't want to be sitting backwards. It looks as though it's going to get busy. So just leaving Fort William now.
Was soll ich wohin? Ich kann nachfragen. Ja. Wo ist es denn da?
So you get a view of Ben Nevis now. That's Ben Nevis above there. It's covered with cloud top, but you can see part of it anyway. I've been up there 13 years ago. It was about May as well, this time of year. There's still lots of snow and ice at the top. It's Fort William there in the distance. That town, you can see buildings. That's a bit more right there. This is Core Park.
So, und als wir auf der Landstraße von ja, das ist aber ganz aussortiert, weil sie nicht mehr so viel Gelegenheit hat. Ich habe in den letzten 4-5 Monaten oder bei der Eventpaket
Yeah, you get quite nice view, which we can still do for the evening. We don't have to do. I'm just thinking, like, you know, we've come all this way, we've seen the train, something in. So we can say this up, is it?
Stops en Lochio.
No, you don't need to do it all, I've done it. So silly, there's a big station. Trains
weil die Leute wenig bestellt haben. Die haben alle ihre Rückfahrt genommen, aber wir wussten ja.
Glen Finnian Viaduct, we're coming up in the way of cuts.
I got a few, it's fine. Okay, let's do that then.
highlights of the tour, the day trip, is going over the Glen Finnian Viaduct. Getting a good view of Loch Hill as well. To see it coming. So we're just stopping at Glen Finnian, that's the next stop now.
Das ist ganz gut hier. Das geht auch. Das ist gut.
Ah, eine halbe Stunde.
Soll ich das drin lassen?
Das war auch ein Raum, sagen wir mal. Genau, von
So that'll be netting there to stop any rocks from going on the track. Strong fencing. These are request stops, so you have to request for the train to stop at these ones. The next one's the scheduled ones, Aris, whatever it is, Faries. Can't really pronounce it, but that's the next scheduled stop. The one we just passed there was a request stop.
Die wir beide gar nicht wissen, sind die voll.
So we're not far from Mallaig now. We're just coming into kind of like the outskirts of Mallaig. Not far to go.
Jetzt kommt gleich Photopage.
So there's the steam train, the Jacobites steam train. It's just pulled in there. That one's from Fort William to Mallaig. You have to book to get on that. It's very expensive as well. I've been on it a few years ago, but yeah, we have to book to get on this one. Like, it's nice steam train on the Jacobites. So I've arrived at Mallaig. I've got a couple of hours here, just over 2 hours, 20 minutes, something like that. It leaves here at 10 past 4, 9 minutes past 4, this train. So I'll be getting this one back as well. So I'll have a couple of hours looking around Mallaig. It's the Western Highland line, and it's described as the best railway line in the world. That's what I've read anyway about it. It's referred to that. Various sites, it's the best railway line in the world. Very spectacular it is. I really enjoyed it as well. So it's yeah, very good. I really enjoyed it. So that's the West Coast steam train. So that's the train. I'll be getting back the same when I got here. Leaves 9 minutes past 4. I'll rephrase that. It's actually 5 past 4 when my train leaves. Not 9 minutes past 4. 5 past 4. It leaves at 5 past 4. So I'll be on it well before that. Like, so it was 11:09 that I got on at Rannoch Station. It gets to Mallaig here, and then it leaves here at 5 past 4. So I made sure that I triple checked that. So Yeah, I just had a look at the steam chain there, the steam engine. So it's quite popular. So what I'm going to do now for the next couple of hours, I'm going to have a wee wander around just the central areas of Mallaig. It's not that big, it's a smallish kind of west coast town, West Highlands coast. So I'll have a look around the centre and that, just to take pictures and stuff. So it's got particularly warm actually and quite bright considering. I thought it was going to be not so good, but the weather's really turned out very well. Yeah, it's always good to know that. Hope this is ferry away. Pulling out my Caledonia McBrain. I think it's going over to Isle of Mill. Caledonia McBrain ferry. It's a roll-off ferry, I think anyway. Cars and buses and lorries could drive on one side and roll off the other. Drive off the other. Hence the name. I think it is anyway. So this is Mallaig Harbour. Nice and picturesque. On a lovely day like this, it's certainly much better weather than I thought it was going to be, which is always a bonus. So I've had more time I would go on one of the boats and that, but I say I've only got 2 hours and just chilling out and not going to rush around and just take various footage round about, just pictures and photos and that. I might grab a cone or something, might get an ice cream cone, have a wee wander around and have one of those. They're not too bad because I brought stuff up with us, so I'll just get an ice cream. See, the thing is when it's busy like this, restaurants and that will be really busy in the shops. So the takeaway foods will be big queues for them, but they're not that bad. So I brought the food with us, so I'll get a nice cone, a nice ice cream cone and maybe a coffee later on. You know what I like with my coffee and cake. I could have ice cream and cake, ice cream and coffee, no bother. But yeah, just going to not really do anything, you know, just pictures and just stroll around for a couple of hours and relax, what you're supposed to do on a lovely excursion like such. So I'll just be taking random photos now and pretty much it. The video will just be sort of like more or less rounded up when I get back. I'll just pictures, photos and stuff from now on and just gonna chill out. Get myself a cone or something. they've got like a mobile cinema here as well for on tourists.
All these chopped up.
So I suppose out here in the Highlands, that'll be quite a valuable thing. That'll be really handy for people that live here to get a mobile cinema. I've seen like mobile libraries and that, but I've never been in one of those before. Mobile cinema, that's quite a good idea. Places like this anyway, where there isn't very much in the way of permanent cinemas. I think the nearest one will probably be Fort William, I guess, which is miles away. So I like it down here as well. I like a wee bit of the industrial sort of atmosphere and learning a wee bit about the stuff that happens down here. So there's some good lorries here as well, quite tidy lorries. I like the trucks. So it's a fishing town, and all this is like the sort of behind the scenes that make everything work. So it is rather warm now, which is good. It's a nice, warm, bright day now, and that's really a good bonus. A few strange things in the sky there regarding the clouds. I don't know if that's coming through in the camera, but it's kind of like a ripple effect there, which is a bit unusual. So I'm kind of logging that in for my records as well. See if I can try and show you or record it for myself, but I can't really see too clearly just what I'm recording because of the reflection, but I could certainly see a wee bit of bizarre rippling effect there. I know that the weather's been pretty bizarre lately anyway, but just sort of logging that in nonetheless while I'm doing a bit of sightseeing at the same time. For the date for that, by the way, for logging this in, I spotted it on 30th of May 2025. I also saw like a sort of Spitfire, maybe not a Spitfire, it was a, I don't know, Lancaster or something. It was a 4-propeller plane that went past earlier. I got it on the video as I was on the train somewhere about the Moor or between that and Mallaig. It was got the footage. So yeah, it's lovely here. I see it's busy in the centre as well, a lot of tourist shops and stuff like that, you know, the touristy stuff and museums and that. But small museums, but I like coming down to places like this as well, you know, sort of behind the scenes kind of thing. I like to see that industrial side of things, just see what's going on in that. I'm interested in machinery, lorries and all that, buses of course, and bits of machinery and equipment, industrial equipment. And I like learning all that and seeing all that. And it's quite nice down here, it's good, nice and open, so it's good to just have a nice chill out, wander, relax and walk down here. So I'll just look at the railway. The steam trains came in. Yes, that'll be from the Fort William, Jacobites, yeah, Jacobites cruises and railways. Well, they run this thing. So there's obviously more than one running because it's that busy, but it's really expensive. You've got to book in advance, well in advance. So it's really quite a novelty, but it's quite expensive though. Like I say, you've got to book, I think it's weeks in advance before you can get on there. So it's quite dear, as I say. I could get on the ScotRail for a fraction of the price and get further on it and end up in the same place. But it's a novelty. The thing is, when you're in the carriage, you're just in the carriage, the same as that. The engine's the main thing, like, you know. But it's a novelty, but it's an expensive one. So. But anyway, I came up with this. I'll do. So obviously this is just coming. Steam trains just coming. So some bizarre lines in the sky there as well. Just I thought I would get this in the video too. Just hung about at the harbour for a bit. I heard there's diesel engine coming in as well, so it's a vintage one. I think it's from Fort William as well. Steam diesel there, you can steam up ahead. That'll be the other one, the one that I saw earlier. And that's the train there that I'm going to be getting back. It looks as though its doors are open, so I can get in it if I want, but it doesn't leave until 4:05. It's only quarter to 4, so. Diesel at the back and there's a steam one at the front. So I've got to drag myself away from that. I was just listening to that big engine out on the way. It sounded really good, nice and powerful. I like that. I've got a selfie with that as well. So yeah, I better go onto this train because that's going to be leaving in about 5 minutes. So I'll go and get myself on that one. So I'll just be heading back to Rannoch Station. So I'll just be pretty much return journey. I'll record when I get back to Rannoch, so just going to chill out now. So we're going to be able to leave very short then.
Ja.
Je weet exact welke mensen dat is.
Ja, ik kwam bij zo lang vandaag.
Wow, mensen. Dus dat is gewoon veel meer op te voelen aan zo'n stukje. Die mensen worden effectief, ik ga effectief de boodschap als niet.
Leaving on the leave. I get off it.
Ja, dat wil ik niet kiezen, maar zo marcheert dat wel.
So that's it. This is back to Rannoch. Quite a good long day out that. So I've still got a 2-hour drive back to Dundee. But before I round the video off, I'm actually going to show you footage of Kinloch Rannoch, just a wee bit of that, and some of the footage of the Schiehallion as well, because earlier on it was quite sort of misty, cloudy like, and you weren't able to see the Schiehallion mountain. So I'll show you that. It's cleared up. So when I make my way back, I'll stop off at Rannoch just to show you very briefly what that looks like. Kinloch Rannoch, the actual village, and the Schiehallion mountain. So this is where it all started this morning at 11 o'clock. It's now 6:45. Just arrived back. It was a good day out, really good, busy. So there's just something I'm going to log in as well. It's a bit of a Mandela effect for me anyway. I'll know what it is, and if anybody else knows this area may also know or may resonate with it. It depends if you experience it or not. But I remember when the trains used to go under like a tunnel up there. It's no longer there now. There's no tunnel between Rannoch and Curra. That's like that station on its own. There's no roads going to Curra. The one before I got to here on the way back, and if I was going to Mallaig, it'd be the next stop. Well, between here and Curra there isn't any tunnel now. The train used to go through a tunnel. I remember seeing it from where I'm at, from the station, but now it's no longer there. So there is this sort of bridge thing, and it'd be a massive job to get rid of that. I mean, the last time I was on this rail was probably, what, 7 years ago maybe? And I've been on it many times within, well, probably since 2007. So for quite a few times over the years. Although the last time I was on it was a wee while, but it certainly would have been evidence of it taking to be a tunnel. There's no any reason for that to happen, but there definitely used to be a tunnel there. So again, that's a Mandela effect as far as I'm concerned, or what's resembled. It resembles what's referred to online as a Mandela effect. Anyway, let's put it like that. So it's the 30th of May 2025 here at Rannoch Station. The tunnel up there is no longer there, and seemingly it never has been there, hence the Mandela effect. So that was something I had to log down from my records. So I was able to get that deer there as well. But regarding that tunnel, it used to be a square-like tunnel. It used to be a square entrance, square-shaped, as I went in. And I saw it was dark. You know, it looked dark, so it was fairly deep. It wasn't overly long, but I remember the train going in and, well, went through it, going to and from the lake, from here, from Rannoch, or between Rannoch and Curra, which is north of Rannoch. It definitely was there. It was a square one. I was able to see it from here. There's no longer that there anyway, so I'm just making another wee reference to the train went over a green bridge, which you might just see, but there's no any reference to the tunnel that used to be there. Evidently there's no evidence that there ever was, which is it's basically the resembles what's referred to as a Mandela effect phenomenon. Like its history has changed, like it never happened, but I clearly remember it being there. Definitely used to be there. I wouldn't be noting it down otherwise. I wouldn't even have the idea that there'd be a tunnel there if I was mistaken. And like I say, I've been to the station many times over the years. Okay, it's been a while since I've been here, but there certainly isn't any evidence of the tunnel being taken away, because everything else is pretty much the same. So just logging that in nonetheless. So just making my way back towards Kinloch Rannoch. There's the Schiehallion at a distance, that pointed mountain there. I've been to the top of that twice with the Caledonian Hill Walking Club. So I've got a closer look at that after I've been through Kinloch Rannoch. So I've just stopped here for a moment because I remember I used to walk up this road when I walked to the station and from further down, and I remember passing and I was able to see the tunnel But instead there's that sort of bridge, and that's it. There's no tunnel. I remember seeing a square tunnel. It was obviously dark inside because it was a tunnel, and it's no longer there now. That's another thing that just basically supports the Mandela effect. That was referred to online as the Mandela effect. It certainly resembles it, because I clearly remember the tunnel being there. It's no longer there now. And I saw it when I used to walk up to the station. I used to walk up to the station from further down. So I'm continuing on my drive back to Rannoch, show you a wee bit of that, and then I'll show you a closer view of the Schiehallion Mountain. So I just stopped here for a couple of minutes, just passing the power station, and also going to show you the folly that's in the middle of Loch Rannoch. I've stopped off at this place here just to give you a good view of the Schiehallion. It's not far from the actual Kinloch Rannoch. I was going to go through the Rannoch and then show you it, but I'll show you the Schiehallion now because you get a great view of it. So I'm getting a much clearer view of Loch Rannoch, because earlier on the day it was, this morning it was a bit cloudy and wet, but there's a nice view of the Schiehallion Mountain. I've been up there twice with the Hill Walking Club. Once in 2010 and the other time was, I think, 2013 or something. I've been up there twice. I've seen it many times when I visit a relative that lives nearby here in this area. And it's a nice bit of scenery. Bit of selfie. So I'll show you the bit of Kinloch Rannoch, then I'll round the video off at that. So this is the centre of Kinloch Rannoch, the village of Kinloch Rannoch. So I'm just going to stop you for about 2 minutes just to show you just a wee bit of Kinloch Rannoch before I drive on through and make my way back home to Dundee. A lovely view of the Schiehallion as well. Nice sort of sunset as well, which is good. So just a very brief look. This path is new. I know that that's been built recently, because that's, you can clearly see it's been done recently, so that's not a Mandela effect. not that I'm not going to consider it as what I refer to online as, or what's referred to online as a Mandela effect. I'm not going to consider that as one, because that looks as though that it's actually been put there fairly recently, because it wasn't there before, but it looks as though it's been put there recently. So there's a lot of stuff you could read, but I didn't want to be here any length of time now, because it's a long day it's been for me, and I want to kind of get back home now. So it's a long drive back, well, a couple of hours, maybe just another and a half now, because I've done that bit. About half an hour from here at the station, so maybe another hour and a half left. I'm familiar with the drive anyway. I've not done it for a while, but I'm certainly very familiar with it, because I've done it often enough over the years ago, like. But so there you go, there's a bit of Kinloch Rannoch for you. Whilst I'm here, I'll round off the video, because it's pretty much that's enough for the video, I think. So I hope you enjoyed the video. See what else I put on my channel, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.